We got our Armstrong tool mounted in there. I just ground up this tool bit right there. We'll be able to use that on both sides, set at a 45-degree angle. So this angle that I ground on there is 100 degrees. I just used my protractor there and set it at 100 degrees. I worked off the first side to get it 50 degrees, and then I ground the other side to match it, equaling 100 degrees total. That way that gives us about 5 degrees clearance once we come in here at our 45-degree angle, and then we go vertically down to the bottom of that. So we'll get it set in here, and I'm going to use a machinist square just to make sure that I am set up. We want the tool, I'm doing this on the wrong side and I can't see it. Come on, where you at? There we go. I just want to make sure that we got our tool set at 45 degrees, and we'll bring our tool up here and check it against the machinist square to be sure that we have our clearance there. So we've got our tool bit mounted in there. I wanted to make sure that we were exactly 45 degrees with about 5 degrees clearance on both sides. So if we take this machinist square here and bring it right up to the cutting edge, the vertical side of the tool, you can see you've got some clearance there. I'll put some contrast behind it so that you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so on the bottom side of the tool, we've got this planer shaper gauge. I can slide up here to it and look at the bottom cutting edge of the tool. You can see that black line there. That's your clearance. That's your clearance underneath the tool. So we shouldn't be rubbing on the bottom of the tool either. So I feel good that we have that tool set at the proper angle, and we can carry on with our cuts now. We've got our tool ready to cut this side here. Let me give you guys a little quick rundown of how we're going to be doing that. So this shaper is equipped with an automatic down feed. That's what this mechanism right here, this pawl, and you got this little ramp that it comes up on. And whenever this ram retracts back, it's going to push that pawl as it's coming up on this guy right here. And then you can set your divisions on how much down feed you want with this guy right there. I've got it set to 0 right now, but the shortest amount that it will feed down when it comes back and retracts is 4 thousandths. And that's probably what we'll use right there, because we're probably only going to be making 1, maybe 2 passes across this. And I have slowed it down. We're doing 9 strokes a minute. It's just a little bit slower. You have more time to react with everything that's going on right here. But let me show you what we're talking about. We'll go ahead and engage the clutch. Okay, so this guy right here, watch this pawl. That's what's going to down feed it every time it comes back and hits this guy right here. So once we engage this on our feed that we want, it'll start feeding down. I got the machine set where we can just start cutting right there. All right, let's make our cut. I have to be off of the ramp here to engage our feed. I also set our collar up here to a 0 when it should reach the floor there, the bottom of our cut. All right, this should be the top. It should start cutting after this pass. There's our first chips there. Oh yeah, looking good. starting to get into that radius at the bottom. I'm going to stop it there so I can take a look at it. Not there yet. I think we made touchdown right there. Our dial up top is a little bit off. I'm just making sure that I'm not coming down there and digging in. No, looks like we need to make one more pass across there. I can still feel just a little bit there. Let's make one more. Again, the beauty of the shaper, being able to stop it like that. That is looking beautiful right there. That is it. If it's off, it can't be more than 1 or 2 thou, but you can't even tell. Looks good. Man, I like that. Well, dang it. Just do it like that. Now I got to square this up just like I showed you before using our machinist square and our planer gauge, so we'll get our tool squared up properly. Just showing you we've got our tool set. We've got clearance on the side there, and we've got the proper clearance here. Got to do that. Got the proper clearance there too, so that's a good angle to set the tool at right there. All right, we're ready to start this cut. We got everything ready to roll. Engage our feed. Actually, I moved that. I forgot that I moved the cam plate here. Now we got feed action. Okay. It's a slow go, but it does a beautiful job. This is really just this is fun machining like this. I really love it. I may need to make an adjustment. I had touched the tool on the side, and I actually backed it away about 2 thousandths because I thought it might already be digging in. So I may have to adjust that tool again and start over here. I don't see it cutting. I'm gonna kick the feed up and see if it'll go down and touch a little bit. There, I see some chips now. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to stop it. I need to bring the workpiece this way a couple of thou and start this over. It's just cutting about half of it right there. All right, I think that might be it right there. Nope, got a little bit more. I can see the edge of it there. A couple more passes. Tell you what helps, that little square. Might be it. I think my 6-inch scale is working better for that. Yeah, we hit it. We just touched the floor right there. Nice. Looks good. Well, we are nearing the end of this operation on the shaper here. I've been sitting here thinking about when I had said that I want to come through here and finish this surface here with our finishing tool. I've kind of gone back and forth, and I had decided, let's just leave it alone. We're only talking 1.5 thousandths difference between that. And we're still about 7 thousandths off of our actual dimension that we're supposed to be on our depth, which honestly doesn't really matter for what we're doing right here. It doesn't matter. So this is actually perfectly fine just the way it's at. But I think I am going to go ahead and continue forward with this and see if I can get a good finish on the bottom right here. It's going to bug me if I don't give it a try and see if I can get this. And we still have plenty of material to come off the top side of the jaw here if something happens and I dig the tool in or something happens right there. So this is the finishing tool. This is the type of finishing tool that you use for shaper and planer work. And the idea behind it is you mount it in the tool there. And what we'll do is we'll set a precision flat stone up here. And we'll kick this at just a little bit of an angle, about 4 to 5 degrees angle there, and bring it down onto our stone. And I use the stone I rub the stone back and forth on this surface here, paper underneath it, and you actually hone the square edge of the tool square to the workpiece right here. And now typically you have a pretty good area that you move across to cut something. We actually only have this little bit right there that we got to cut. So there's really not a lot that you have to step over and take this off, because this is typically when you use these kind of finishing tools, you're using a very high step over rate, just short of the width of your tool bit. It's usually how it is. And you guys might have seen those patterns before. If you look at really, really old machines, like say a planer table or even shaper tables like this, you might see a linear cut pattern in those type of machine beds. And it's done with a setup like this, where you have a square nose finishing tool with a high step over each pass, making that. And it makes it really, really, really flat. And if you have your tool honed right, it'll leave an absolutely gorgeous finish on that cast iron. So I think I'm going to move forward and go ahead. I need to touch up this tool, give myself some relief angle up here, because I don't want to come over here and be cutting into these shoulders that we just finished. So I need to relieve the tool a little bit. I'm going to get this guy set up and get it honed, and I'm going to see if I can't pull off a really good finish on this bottom right there. And when we have this ready to go, we'll bring you back and we'll show you how we're doing on it. So what I'm doing here is I'm honing my finishing tool. Now this is a technique that I taught myself in a book that I read called Machine Tool Operation Part 2. It's an excellent book that goes over drilling, planing, milling, and grinding. I would highly recommend it if you can find you one. So they show how to hone your finish tool for finishing cast iron. So first of all, you got to grind up a square nose tool and get it set square to the machine. And then you set an oil stone. In this case, I use my precision flat stones. I set that underneath there, and you have the tool, once it rests down on the oil stone, you have it set at approximately 3 to 4 degrees. And you rub the stone back and forth, and you keep honing that tool, lifting it up and looking at it until you can see your hone mark on the cutting edge there. Once you get that tool honed, that cutting edge is going to be perfectly straight and in line with the surface that you're cutting. And when you do this correctly, it leaves an absolutely beautiful finish on cast iron. And it's one of my favorite finishes that I love to try to achieve whenever we are machining cast iron. Once you have the tool properly honed, you simply lift the tool up, remove the oil stone, and let the clapper go all the way back down to its lowest position, and then you'll end up having the 3 to 4 degrees clearance angle behind the cutting edge. I think we're ready to go ahead and make our first cut. It's already touching most all the way down. I'm going to dial in another 2/1000ths on our depth. This is going to go quickly. I've got the feed set at 100,000 step over, so it's going to be feeding that way. That's what I've got a dial indicator set it for, because I got myself right up against that shoulder and I want to feed it that way. So let me go ahead and you only take very, very light cuts doing this. 1/2000th at the most. So let's see how it's going to do here. So that did work out really good. I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. We're going to take one more cut across there and just clean it up one more time. And then once I feel good with this, we shouldn't have to adjust the tool. We can come over here and get this side. So that worked out pretty good. And I just measured it with our depth mic. Now both sides are pretty well even there. There may be a 1/2 to 1 difference, but I'm gonna go ahead and take one more pass across this side right there, and then we'll leave our tool set where it's at. I'm gonna try to take 1/1000ths, make that cut, and then we'll move over here to this side, leave the tool where it's at, and then make a pass over here, and hopefully clean it up, and they'll both be the same height. So we have two thousandths difference in height. So I think that tool should work right where it's at. We shouldn't have to adjust it. I think we're ready to go for it. Wish me luck. Feed that direction. It's always a little nerve-wracking doing that, but I think we landed on it. We did good. It's good to go. Well, this operation is complete and I'm happy with it. It looks good and I had a lot of fun. I absolutely love running this old shaper. Like I said in the beginning, this is just a fun machine to operate and watch operate while you get your cut set. You sit over there, and once it's doing its thing, it's just real lovely to watch those tool bits shear those chips off there like it does. So I hope y'all enjoyed watching it too. I know the shaper footage is not for everybody, but there's a large group of people that follow me on my channel that really love watching this old school work, these old machines operate, and I haven't had a project in a while that I've done on the shaper, so I was glad to finally get back over here on the G&E and put it to work. And it did a beautiful job. Even our roughing pass there on this area right there, man, it just looks beautiful on there. Our finishing tool did a good job. It's nice, slick, smooth. I took some Scotch-Brite and just kind of buffed it there to get rid of any of the fuzz that might still be on the surface and just kind of slick it down. Still got to do a little bit of filing in here, just general deburring on these inside casted areas here. But that's going to finish up this op right here. From here, I haven't decided where I'm going to go yet to finish out the other sides. I think I had mentioned that I want to use our Miltronics to help cut the sides in on this. And that's just because I want to try to give a lot of my machines an opportunity on this project and show different methods on getting things done. But that's going to be it. We're going to sign off. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope to see you again on the next project.